You look good.
Thank you.
Opening statement and questions.
Yeah, I want to give St. Joe's credit. They were playing really, really well. 3 straight wins. You can tell why with the amount of firepower they have offensively, but I thought today they did a really good job defensively on us. Lynn Greer was terrific. He really was coming in second leading assist guy in the league. He only played 18 minutes in their last game. Really a guy who, we thought going into the game was going to be more of a passer when he got in the paint. Yeah, he really took the ball right to the rim and was able to score 30 points. So, terrific game for him. But I'm proud of our group. Just kind of had a lot of fight, very tired, playing a lot of guys. I was trying to get Mir in for defense at the end. They told me he rolled his ankle, so I said, okay, we can't do that. The other thing I would say is I've been on, a lot of teams, and teams that are playing pretty well and like playing towards the top of their league, over time, when you look back on the season, if they have a good record, it's like, oh, there was remember those games where we needed a guy who never makes a 3 to make a 3 to put the game in overtime so we could win, or remember when we made a silly play and it really could have cost us, but it didn't, those things, that's a season. And the good teams find a way at the end of the year to look back and say, yeah, we were rather be lucky than good in that circumstance, So I thought we were good at times, and I thought, we made mistakes, and then I want to give St. Joe's credit.
Questions? Abe?
At the end of the game, I think for all of overtime, Hunter Dean and Ricky Linda both played with 4 fouls. How huge was yeah, basically that.
Yeah, well, the only time I took them out is to press and foul, and thankfully my coaches were saying, hey, they both got 4, so they're good on this end. Kwanzi and Noel, and we'll be in a fouling situation. We'll get those guys back in if we get the ball.
Ben?
I know you mentioned it earlier, coming off 2 big wins. Was it difficult to maintain focus on St. Joe's and not look towards the rest of the season, or were you not?
No, not for me. I don't think for the team. We jumped out up 15 or 16 or whatever it was. I thought they were ready to play. I thought the staff did a good job of sending those messages, preparing that. I think I said it the other time. This is not going to be a program that, hey, this is a big game, or this is we're not, as long as I'm here, we're not going to be in that mode. Everyone is big, and we're going to create with our preparation, hopefully, a fever around the next game, whatever game that is. Now, not always good at it, right? Not always perfect, but you're going to try to do that, right? It's not. I always say, people say big game, and I'm like, well, which one's not big? When you're playing for something, which one's not big? I'd like to know. I think there's some games in the non-conference that we could go back and say were they big? They're huge now, right? Because we could have used them. So there's no big games.
A lot of the plays tonight were reviewed by the refs. I think that they made fair calls overall throughout the game.
Yeah, veteran crew, very, very good officials, guys that I've known for 20 years. I joked that I'm glad they were checking on the goaltendings. That's what you should do, and should have been done at a certain game in Hawaii. I remember participating in. So they listen. Sometimes those things go your way, sometimes they don't.
You guys did pretty good limiting the 3-pointers from St. Joe's in the beginning of the game. What was the plan coming into
Well, yeah, I think that's what it was. And you look at, if you'd have told me, hey, Brown and Reynolds are 1 for 10, I'm thinking, hey, we're in great shape, and we might be in really good shape. But that's where Greer and I don't want to mispronounce Casper's name, so I'll use his first name. Those guys, he makes 4 threes, and then Lynn makes 2 and goes 13 to 22. So you can play the percentages, and then guys go and play outside of that, and some of that might be us, hey, maybe your stick hand's not ready or whatever, but most of it is got to give them credit.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the talk this season's been on James Bishop and his incredible offensive output, but I think Brendan Adams tonight really showed how impressive he is in his own right. You know, just talk about that, how great his season's been, and then kind of capped off today with the career performance.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it, like, I'm really happy for him because of the way he works, the way he carries himself, the attitude he has, the type of student he is. You know, I'm not into like telling everybody what everybody's GPA is and stuff, like, because like if you take like building blocks, then you should get like an A, right? Somebody's taking like physics and they might get a C. I don't know if the building blocks person's smarter or whatever, but like, you know, that guy's like a great student, like a great student. Like I haven't had a lot of guys with those type of GPAs that can play the way he. So, unbelievable worker, really good student, really good guy. And yet, I think when you look at his career, you're like, poor guy. Like, he hasn't really put it all together. Well, here now he's putting it all together, so I'm very, very happy for him.
James Bishop moved up to 28th all-time scorer.
Who'd he pass?
Carl Elliott.
Yeah.
Carl Elliott was really good. Yeah.
Can you just talk about what he's meant to this program, especially in your first year as head coach?
Yeah, I'm so lucky. I mean, that to have two veteran senior guards like that. I mean, you know, I know I'm lucky to have those guys. I mean, this is not me. It's those guys. I mean, they're terrific. I mean, now, that's why I didn't call timeout. First in regulation, I'm hoping like the two senior guards would get it in and get fouled instead of turning it over. So, but I trust those guys. You know, I think as any coach would if they had them.
One more, David.
So you mentioned Amir Harris rolled his ankle at the end. Do you have any update beyond that?
No, I just told him he's got to really work on it. I mean, you know, sure, I think he'll be okay. But man, he was good today. His defensive intensity, the amount of deflecting, he's got great hands. Like anytime he's like, and he's got length, and anytime he's near the ball, he's getting deflections. And now today, you know, he makes a three. They had another bucket. The three was a huge one. He spent a lot of time on his corner threes, and I'm happy that you know, he's starting to see some success there. He's vital for us to get another guard. We only have really one other guard right now, so it's really important that he's hopefully like in the training room as we speak.
All right, thanks everybody.